Hi there. In this video, I want to talk to you about the filter options inside email sequences inside Kit. And this is because I'm getting quite a lot of questions recently about how exactly this functions. So let's say someone is inside an automation in Kit, but midway through that sequence that is inside the automation, they get a particular tag that indicates that they don't want to receive the rest of those emails. And now what happens to them? Like, do they straight move through that sequence and go to the next step of the automation? Or do they stay inside the sequence and go through all the motions of the wait times before they actually move out of the sequence? And that would be terrible, actually, because then, if you have a very long sequence, they would just not be receiving any of those emails and not move on to the next part in the automation. So in this video, I want to walk you through what is exactly happening. And to basically cut things short, it works as we would probably hope that it works. So I'll explain more about how that works later in this video. But to cut things short, if they come into this automation because of this tag, there is a sequence here with 5 emails in this case. And if you have an exclusion tag set up in the settings, if they have that tag before they come to this point in the automation, they would just skip this whole sequence. So they just move on straight to the final part of this automation or whatever is down here in your particular automations. If they are inside the sequence and they received a tag that excludes them from these emails, they will move out and they will just not get any of the rest of the emails, and they would still get to here. The skipping of this one takes only maybe a couple seconds, maybe a minute. If they are inside here to get out, in my testing, it took about 4 minutes, but it's still pretty fast, and they would not have received any of the next emails by the time they have clicked to, or for some reason received a tag that they should not be receiving the rest of these emails. Now, the cases in which you would use this is, for example, if you are sending sales emails, and this is a very long sales sequence, and there could be 2 reasons. First is if they purchase, then of course you don't want to continue bothering them with sales emails for the thing that they just purchased. So it's helpful to create a tag, and wherever people make this purchase, make sure that it gives them a tag inside Kit. And then that tag would be set up in the sequence settings so that they would no longer receive the rest of the sales emails. And another situation could be where someone wants to remain on your email list, but they don't want to receive the rest of these sales emails, or they're not interested in a particular topic that you have a series of emails on, and they can click a link trigger inside your emails indicating that they don't want to hear about this particular topic or this sales. And that helps you to keep them on your email list and just not email them about this particular topic. In that case, that tag would then indicate that I don't want to receive the emails for the sequence. And again, you would set that up here in the settings. And by doing that, they would then be excluded. So you go here in this section where it says subscribers, exclude subscribers from the sequence. We won't deliver emails to any of your subscribers who have subscriptions to the following selections, even if they're added to the sequence via an automation or a form subscription. So in my case, I would do a tag. So let me just pause the video and tag it real quick. So I now selected that tag, and it says no emails about topic A. And that means that now whenever they get that particular tag, they would be excluded from the sequence. So I'm updating here, or from any other emails from that sequence, I should say. So if we now go back here and test things, I have a number of test subscribers set up here. So for the first subscriber, for each rather, I'm going to give them this tag to start them in this automation. And this first person, I'm already going to give him the exclusion tag, or me, her, actually, it's me. Hi, it's me. No emails. Sorry, it's something topic A. Let's see. So I'm giving the tag. Maybe I should refresh this. I probably created a tag after I opened this page here. There we go. No emails about topic A. Okay. So this person now has the tag, and what should happen if I send them in here is that they pretty much straight on get this particular tag that we know that they went through and skipped all these emails, because that is the exclusion on the sequence settings for this particular email, right? So now I'm going to give this tag sequence exclusions example automation. So now we should see that person appear in here. Now, what I should say is that these visuals here are always a little slow to update. So if I click here on completed, I will probably in a few seconds see this test person appear here. Let's see, here we go. I just refreshed the page. Even though the number is not yet being reflected here, you still see 0, but if you click on it, you'll see that I am here. And now, of course, what we hope that should happen is that they skip this whole sequence and they come to this point here. So I'm also going to check this one. And here I am, right? So this person indeed skipped straight through. Now, with this sequence here, how I set it up is that the first email goes out immediately and the next after an hour, and then 7 days, 7 days, 7 days. So what I can do with the second person is I'm going to send this person into the automation. And then, of course, immediately they get this first email. And then what I'll do is I'll give the exclusion tag, and then we can check if indeed the person is moving out and not receiving those other emails, but making it here, which is what we would want to have happen. So for this one, I'm first going to put them in here. And just refresh the page here. Okay, so they're going to go into the automation, and in a little bit, we should see the first email appear here. And in the meantime, we can check with this person who actually went straight through that there are no emails here. They are in that automation, but they're not in that sequence. And this one is completed, but they're not in the sequence because they just skipped straight through. This person should be in the automation. They're in here. So again, we can look here. We now should see 2 people here. So that's correct. And in here, we should now see the 1 person, right? So this is a test person too. And they have now received that first email. It's probably a little slow here to update. Let's see if it's coming up. Not yet, but at least we saw inside the automation that they're inside the sequence. And also if we go to the sequence reports, we should see that the first email has been sent out. And again, that's a little slow to update too, but at least we can see there is 1 subscriber here, so that's good. This is a bit of a downside of Kit, that sometimes these visuals are a little slow to update, but at least inside here, we could see that this person is inside the automation. Let's do another check and see if they came up here now as having received the email. Not yet, but they are in there. So I just want to wait for a little bit. So I'm just going to pause the video for a little bit because it's pretty boring watching me refresh the page, I'm sure, to see until, they have received the email. And then I'm going to give them the tag to exclude them from the rest of the emails. Okay, here we go. It took a little bit, and clicking back to the actual subscriber page. And now here we can see that email number 1 has been received. So now what I'm going to do is apply the exclusion tag, right, to this person so that they're not going to get the other emails. And we can check that by seeing if they receive this tag here. So now I applied this tag that should pull them out of the automation onto here. Now this can take, again, a couple minutes. So I'm just, again, going to pause the video. I promise you I won't touch anything else in the meantime. I just want to make sure that you can see that they actually make it to this section here where there is 2 people that have that tag that they actually completed the automation. Okay, it took a little while, but this person is now also through, as we can see when we click here on the completed. Again, the visual here is a bit slow to update, but if I click on completed, you'll see this second person is through now as well. And if we look in this person's record, just trying to refresh the page, not sure if that's working too well. Let's go through here. That should open it up again. Now we can see there's the 3 tags, one that entered them into the automation, one that excluded them after they got the first email, and then the second one where they succeeded. So now we can see the email here. We can see that they completed this automation, and we can see that they completed the sequence. So this is exactly what we want to have happen. Now, there is another way to exclude people from emails in automations. And that is to do it on an email by email level. So apart from the settings here, where you can exclude that particular tag for the whole sequence, you can do a similar thing on an email by email level. Now, it's obviously much faster if you can do it in the settings for all of your emails, but it may be the case that you want to exclude certain tags only from certain emails. So for example, if this is a freebie delivery in the first email, you may want to just deliver that to everyone, but then the sales emails 2 through 5 only to people who don't have your particular course or membership just yet. So in that case, you would click on email number 2, click on the filter here, and then exclude people from, with that particular tag. So you go in here and then subscribe to, and you select tag, and then here from the list, you select that same particular, that same tag that you wanted to exclude in the settings. There is other ways you can deal with this. If you have like a lot of emails going on, there's other ways you can, pull people out of sequences or split up the sequence, pull them out using an event tag. Or you can split up the sequence if you just want to send the first one to everyone, just have that in a separate sequence, and then set up a second sequence where you can just exclude everyone through the settings. So there's always lots of options to get to similar results, and how to particularly set it up in your case depends on your specific situation. So if you need help with setting that up, feel free to reach out. I'll put my email address in the description and my website as well. I also have a course on, it's not really a course, but it's like a bundle of kit automations. It's just $9 at the moment, where you can get like instructions on setting up specific automations that are going to be very helpful in automating your business. So make sure to check that out as well. And if you have more questions, feel free to either drop me an email or drop them in the comments below. Thank you. Bye-bye.